Hey mamas, it's Holly here. I just um, wanted to talk to you a little bit today. I read online a mom who was talking about how she felt really just wrung dry, that she's been hiding, crying about feeling exhausted and unimportant, not feeling like a person in her life anymore, but like more like a stagehand, she said, in other people's lives. Um, she felt like she had been trying everything to get a little bit more energy and not finding there was any left. Um, that she's snapping more easily at her kids, um, having a hard time enjoying them, trying to fake it, gritting her teeth, forcing herself to listen, but feeling really inadequate and feeling lost and drained in all of this. Um, Now, chances are this person may need some additional resources beyond what we could provide in our Recreate You group, like professional help of a counselor or therapist, maybe even some medication, um, if she's feeling really depressed. But some of those sentiments might be really relatable to some of you. I know they certainly have been to me at different points in my life. And when they start out, they are really an indicator that, you're getting burnout. And if we're not listening to those signs of burnout, it's just going to increase. And that's when sometimes it can result in more like clinical depression forming or something else more serious. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about that today and kind of put into context with Recreate You. So when we have this level of just like soul crushing exhaustion and feeling invisible or unimportant in our own lives, and we just keep working harder and harder to try to get things to feel better, but nothing is feeling better, it's feeling worse. Our life isn't feeling rewarding or fulfilling. That can be really terrifying because deep down, you can feel yourself slipping away. You can feel yourself losing control, maybe, losing the connection you have with your kids, with your partner, or friends and family. And I think because of our culture and because of the expectations that are put on moms, women in particular, and moms even more specifically, we feel like we have to pretend that everything's okay. We can feel really guilty. That guilt can become really overwhelming. And it contributes to all sorts of problems in our lives. Feeling like we're not good enough, not ever having enough energy, snapping more at our kids. So what if you're feeling some of these things? Maybe it hasn't become so chronic that you can't get out of bed and function and do some of the things you need to do in your life. And you are looking for some help. So what if I told you that there might be a way you could stop just running on empty? That you might be able to reclaim some of that energy again and even find the joy that you used to have, not by forcing it, not by pretending, but by actually meeting your own needs, and setting yourself up for real restoration. So some of the steps that we would look into in our program at Recreate You would be, number one, realizing and acknowledging that you're not broken, you're burnt out. And that is a result of being underappreciated or constantly giving without receiving, ignoring your own needs for too long. So you've got to start by rebuilding yourself one step at a time. And for everyone, that's going to look a little different. And for some of you, it may be nearly impossible to find large chunks of time in your day, but it may look like smaller pockets of time, smaller pockets of rest throughout the day. setting boundaries with your time, allowing yourself to feel without guilt, getting support, maybe seeking professional support even if you need that, asking for help. And then it also is about reconnecting with yourself, letting go of the pressure to be everything for everyone. And in Recreate You, we do a lot of that through creative exploration and expression, through certain exercises that you will be able to use to kind of help you reconnect with what's beneath the surface, what's underneath the expectations others have put on you and that you've kind of taken on. Where is your actual authentic self beneath all of that? So like I said, using creative exercises, journaling, and some other ideas as well. So slowly but surely just rebuilding those pieces of you over time, and being honest with yourself about needing more, that's okay. That you need to understand your needs so that you can then communicate them to others, as well as communicate with your kids in a way that they understand what your needs are. So you can teach them that you needing your own space is appropriate, and that you are working on being the best version that you can be, best version of yourself that you can be, so that they have that from you. But that's going to take some time. It's going to take some energy. And then the most important thing is forgiving yourself. So the fact that you feel the way that you do, it just shows that you care deeply. But we can't pour from an empty cup, right? We can't give what we don't have. So taking care of yourself is not selfish. It is not a luxury. It is a necessity. In order for us to be able to show up for others in our lives, whether that's just our children, whether there's, also a partner in your life, whether there's additional family members you're caring for, your community, the ways that you're showing up at your job, in order for you to be able to be there in those other ways, you've got to find more resources for taking care of yourself first. And then once you start to do that, once you start showing up for yourself, first in small ways that feel manageable, and then over time developing those into more significant forms of really healing and helping yourself, then you'll start to see the joy, the patience, the connections slowly coming back in your life. So just a few takeaways here. And there's more to it, of course, but this is just some of the things I wanted to comment on today, kind of in response to the mom's words that I read. Number 1, you are not broken. You are burnt out. Number 2, taking care of yourself is necessary. It's not selfish. Number 3, reclaiming and reconnecting yourself through small, deliberate steps, like setting boundaries, asking for help, finding emotional support. Those are the things that are going to help you to start feeling back yourself again and be able to show up in more ways for others. And then number 4, forgive yourself. Okay, perfection is impossible. It is not the goal. You deserve rest. You deserve rejuvenation. So forgiving yourself for, the ways that you have maybe showed up in as, not your best self. That's okay. This is a process. So yeah, that's my thoughts for today. And if you think this is really connecting with where you're at right now in your journey as a mom, as a woman in this world, as a caretaker, reach out, give me a call, connect with me through my website, hollyfrench.com, and let's talk a little bit more about, whether I could maybe help you along on this journey, help you to reconnect with who you are, to feel that sense of joy and have the energy again to do the things you love. So, all right. In the meantime, peace.